Once you have done all of your homework, considered your options, and test-driven vehicles, you should be able to make a decision. You should have already discovered the value of the vehicle you want, and you should know what you can afford to pay for it. You should also think about what you want your initial offer to be. You want it to be as low as is reasonable, but not so low that you appear to be an uninformed buyer. Be confident and assertive, and let the salesperson know you are a serious buyer who has done the research. You may want to have a folder containing your data and sources you can refer to it or share some of it with the salesperson. The discussion about price will likely start with the salesperson focusing on the MSRP or manufacturer's suggested retail price. Try to switch the focus to value or invoice price. The salesperson may also try to focus on monthly payments, and this may seem easier since, in the end, that is probably how you will be looking at it. However, this is not the best way to negotiate. Using the monthly payment as the focus, the salesperson will likely lump the whole process together, distorting the actual price of the vehicle. Instead, insist on negotiating one thing at a time. Your first priority should be to agree on the lowest price you can get for the vehicle. After you've agreed on a price, then you can discuss trade-in and financing. Before shaking hands and agreeing on a deal, you should ask the salesperson what other fees will be included and how much these fees are. Knowing this information can keep you from being surprised when you sign the purchase contract. Another way to ask this question is to say, "What is my out-the-door price?" You should talk through each fee with the salesperson to assure it is legitimate. Typical extra costs include sales tax, registry cost, and a documentation fee. By discussing them with the salesperson, you have one last chance to negotiate.
Some of the strategies and tips for negotiating a car deal go back to knowing your budget, knowing how much you're going to pay, knowing what a fair price for the vehicle is. And you've determined that early on in the process because now you've done your homework and you've realized the kind of vehicle you need. You're not doing an impulse buy. And so by this time, you've determined everything and all the way down to how long you want to finance and what your monthly payments could be. So I believe that one great tip is just sticking to your guns. If you've determined that you can pay $300 a month on a 60-month conventional contract, then stick to your guns. And if you can get that vehicle for those terms, then that would be great. I think a lot of people make a mistake by just negotiating with car payment. You know, you have to determine what the value of the vehicle is, what your perceived value of the vehicle is, and then negotiate the value, and then usually the value will accommodate, the payments and terms will accommodate the value.
After you have settled on price and made a deal, you will probably be led to a separate office for financing and warranties. Even if you already have financing approved, go ahead and let the dealership's financing officer give you their best offer. Next, you will likely be offered an extended warranty, also known as a service contract. According to research by Consumer Reports magazine, extended warranties do not usually pay off, and hopefully you have done your homework to find a dependable car that makes you feel secure in your purchase without it. If you do decide you want the extended warranty, be sure to get all the details on what it covers and how the payment for repairs works. Are wear and tear parts covered? What about electronic components? Will you have to pay for a portion known as a deductible? Will you be required to pay in full up front and be reimbursed later? The answers to these questions may influence your desire to get the extended warranty, so they are very important to ask. Also, be sure to ask about the manufacturer's warranty, which varies in length and coverage depending on the manufacturer. In addition to the extended warranty, You will probably be offered other add-ons such as anti-theft devices, window tinting, and interior stain-resistant coating, just to name a few.
With ancillary products, there's everything from extended warranties to gap insurance to per machine, a souped up wax job on the vehicle that you could actually finance into the total cost of the vehicle. And so those all are different variables that'll make the ending price go up, what you're actually going to be financing. And so that is, I'm a firm believer in warranties. I don't think that you necessarily have to have a warranty on a brand new vehicle, but that's determined based off of your driving habits. If you get a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on a vehicle from the manufacturer, but you drive 36,000 miles a year, you're going to eat that up in 1 year, but you finance this vehicle for 5 years. So you still have another 4 years that you're going to be locked into this contract, and you may need to protect yourself up to 100,000 miles or up to 150,000 miles. And then an extended warranty would be beneficial to you on a new car. I recommend extended warranties on all used cars, especially if they're out of factory warranty. It's great peace of mind. It's something that you can't replace. Once you buy the vehicle, it's yours. And so an extended warranty on a used car, just having that peace of mind would be something great to look at. I also think that there are some other ancillary products. If they're important to you and you would like to finance them, you are going to be paying an interest rate on them. So that $110 tent job could cost you more than $110 in the end. And so some of those things are better left, if you want them, they're just better left to be paid for up front. Then you could get the dealer cost and you don't have to finance it. You're not paying interest on some of these extra ancillary products. It's endless. You can finance anything. If a dealership can sell it, you can finance it. But big things like the extended warranties, they're $2,000, $2,500. Sometimes it's a little bit tough to pay for up front. So those are better left to finance in the vehicle. You can get everything from rock chip repairs and windshield repairs. You just have to look at some of your insurance companies offer the same products at a discounted rate, but a lot of dealerships offer those same products. They're able to buy them, at a discounted rate, and so that they'll pass those savings on to you. So it's really important to look at before you finance it in the vehicle. Look at what's important to you, and then look at the value of it. Sometimes dealerships have a better deal than your insurance company or other outside vendors. One of the most important things that I see are gap insurance policies. And a gap insurance policy, actually, when you get full coverage insurance, your vehicle is insured by the value of it. And so whenever you finance a vehicle and finance your tax on a license, and if you had a trade with some negative equity and you finance that also, well, then your payoff is there's more than the value of the vehicle. And so unfortunately, if you get in a wreck and have a total loss, well, your insurance company is going to pay off or give you a check for the value, but there's this gap of what you owe. And a gap insurance policy will actually take over and pay that gap. And so that's why I think they're very important, because these days people are financing 110, 115% of the value of the vehicle. And most insurance companies are just paying 100% of the value. So when you financed above and beyond what the vehicle was worth, I think a gap insurance is very, very important.
So you did your homework, examined and test drove, and negotiated your way to getting your car. Congratulations! Now you are ready to drive into the sunset with the wind in your hair and your favorite music playing on the stereo. Hopefully that is your experience, but occasionally that is not how it works out. Unfortunately, there are dishonest people out there who may have smooth-talked you into a purchase you will quickly regret. If that is the case, know your rights. Each state has laws which deter car dealerships from making fraudulent or deceptive sales, and which provides some protection to car buyers who have been sold a defective device.
You've heard the lemon law, and what that is they come in and they determine that there is a reoccurring problem on a vehicle. And if it happens, the same reoccurring problem up to 3 times, when the dealership or the repair shop cannot fix the same reoccurring problem, then that's going to protect you as a consumer. Whether it be a mass recall, so maybe you've heard of like the Firestone tire problem where they were blowing out, or you've heard about some sludge problems that maybe Toyota had. All manufacturers have their problems. Nissan has recalls on items, but they send out emails to the consumer. They let the consumer know, hey, we've got an issue here. We're going to keep you in the loop. We've got a fix. We're working on a fix or something, and they're working to resolve it. But the lemon law comes in when that problem can't be resolved, and it's typically comes in the form of a buyback from the manufacturer to help the consumer. Now, on a used car, everybody's heard the term as is. And when you buy those cars, that's some of the risk you're taking. You're buying that car as is. And when it steps outside your warranty, there's not a lot of things there to help protect the consumer. So that's why it becomes important for you to make that smart decision when you buy that vehicle up front. Decide whether or not you want that warranty when you're sitting in front of the finance officer. Those are the times you need to determine, hey, let me slow down just a second, read the fine print, protect myself in the best way that I can going forward.
If you think your rights have been breached, do some research. Find out what you can do to remedy the situation, what documentation and evidence you might need, and if you should talk to a lawyer. You can get information and advice from a number of consumer protection organizations, including the Better Business Bureau, the National Association of Consumer Advocates, and the Bureau of Consumer Protection.